What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aiden, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be discussing why I believe this trip to Paris and having these days off heading into our obviously big game against the Detroit Pistons will be, in my opinion, a good sight for the Chicago Bulls, whether we win or we actually lose this game against Detroit. Now, at the end of the day, looking at how the Bulls are so inconsistent right now, it's very hard to find big major positives about this Bulls team. But you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. I feel like this trip in Paris, seeing this Bulls team hopefully have a lot of days to actually train together and try to fix some of the mistakes that they constantly make on a regular basis will be beneficial when they return to Chicago, return to obviously their normal schedule, the back-to-backs and whatnot and everything in between. And I kind of want to discuss why this could be a good trip for them. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls and whether or not you believe this trip to Paris will be a good one for them. There is a lot to get through here, ladies and gentlemen, but let's just say first things first, this is unprecedented situation for the Chicago Bulls. I think what was the last time we played in Paris was back in the 80s or the 90s. I can't remember the exact time, but it's been years and years since we've seen the Bulls play over in Paris, since we've seen the Bulls really play any international game in the regular season whatsoever. It's been a long time, and at the end of the day, it's something that these Bulls players should obviously cherish. You saw some good moments already in Paris. Derrick Jones Jr. got engaged. Once again, congratulations to him. They've had obviously the whole family there, but the most important thing is that the Bulls team has had many days now to really comprehend and train together to figure out some of the errors of their ways. That's a chance that not many other teams get to have. Usually teams, especially when they're on their regular schedule and whatnot, they're supposed to, play one game, have a break, play another game, have maybe a 2-day break, then play another game. It's constant. It's always on the go. You can never really stop, and you can never really have a good stretch of time to really focus on your game and focus on what goes wrong. You have to learn on the fly. You have to learn in the middle of the games, or you have maybe one training session or two training sessions to try and fix your mistakes. The Bulls this time around, yes, obviously they might have had a day to just kind of get used to maybe the time difference and whatnot. I understand all of that. That's obviously a very important sight to see. But they've had constant amount of days now. It's our last game for me was on Monday. This game's at Friday, so that's 4 days they've had to really focus on what they can do better as a team. And not only that, once they return back to Chicago, they're going to have another couple of days as well to really focus on what they need to do as a team. These are really important steps for the Chicago Bulls. This is an opportunity that other teams don't always get to have. And I really hope they're taking the due diligence, they're taking as much time as they possibly can to really rectify some of those situations. I hope that they've not just used this trip to Paris as an excuse for a vacation or for some time off. Yes, go and sightsee, go and see everything you need to see. Unique experience. I bet you a lot of those players haven't been to Paris before, and I'm sure they're having a great time while they're there. But when your, job is to play for the Chicago Bulls and to be in the training sessions and whatnot, I hope Billy Donovan is really instilling some of these lapses that the Bulls have and try to rectify them. Try to rectify any of our problems, like some of our inconsistencies in all four quarters, like our defensive lapses, like our lack of three-point attempts or three-point shooting, our isolation style. All these things that need to be rectified. I really hope that Billy Donovan is putting this into this team. And I know it's not going to take a week to change everything, but the week can start, the improvements that we can make over the course of the season. We'll have to wait and see, obviously, but at the end of the day, this is a very important stretch for the Chicago Bulls, and this is a stretch I hope to take advantage of. Again, not a lot of teams have 4-day breaks like the Bulls just had, and they're not going to have 4-day breaks after this like the Bulls will have once they travel back. So you've got to use this time wisely. You've got to use this time and take advantage of this time that we have, that other teams don't have the luxury of having. And we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, we'll quickly discuss the injury report as well for the Chicago Bulls. Lonzo Ball is obviously out, we know that. And Javonte Green is out, and we know that. So that's really it for the injury report. It seems like everybody else is actually going to be here. Everybody else is going to be ready to play. There's no other questionables or doubtfuls. Everybody's ready to play this game in Paris against the Detroit Pistons. Also, before I end this video, do not be surprised if it's a lopsided squad, or I guess crowd, for the Detroit Pistons, because they have a French international in their team in Killian Hayes. So of course there are going to be a lot of people rooting for Killian Hayes, and I'm expecting him to have a big game, assuming that he is playing this game against the Chicago Bulls. But of course, the Bulls are worldwide. Look, I'm in Australia. I'm literally on the other side of the planet from you guys in Chicago. So if the Bulls can be reached here, and there are many Bulls fans here, then I'm positive there'll be many Bulls fans in Paris as well. We've obviously played there as well before. But expect a very energetic crowd. Expect a crowd that's going to be very much supporting the Detroit Pistons, but expect a crowd that will also support the Chicago Bulls as well. Very, very rarely you're going to see games like this happen for us. You've got to be happy about it, take advantage of it, but most importantly, take advantage of your time that you have to actually work on your game, because not a lot of teams get that same time that we just got in this timeout. And we'll pay for it eventually. We probably paid for it at the beginning of the season. We'll pay for it by the end of the season when we have a lot of congested fixtures or whatnot. It's going to hurt us in the long run probably. But if you work on your game now, and you have the style of play down, you have what you need to work on down, and you improve upon it game by game, piece by piece, by the time March comes around and it's a little bit of a back-to-back city type environment or whatnot, we'll have the game plan down, and hopefully we can still manage to survive that period. But obviously, again, time will tell. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Do you think the Bulls will get closer this time out? Team chemistry as well will go a long way. The fact that they spent multiple days together in a different country will definitely boost their team chemistry, you'd have to believe. You've seen all the videos. They're having a fun time. DeMar and Zach are having a fun time roasting Dalen Terry. I've seen a lot of that recently as well. Just good vibes around the Chicago Bulls right now, as there should be when you're in a very unique situation. I'm sure they're very, very happy about it. So with all that being said, hopefully they enjoyed their time in Paris. Hopefully they get the job done against the Pistons. But I hope they've used that time wisely, and we won't go back to inconsistent, really, really poor basketball to amazing basketball depending on the game that you watch. I hope that's not what we see going forward, but we'll just never know. Have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care, and peace.